Do you often feel drained, confused, or taken advantage of? If you feel like that in your relationship, there's a chance that you might be getting manipulated. Manipulators are experts at pushing your buttons and getting what they want. The problem is, it's usually at the expense of your happiness and needs. This can be done slowly and very sneaky way, but surely they gain control over you. Therefore, the scary part is that you might not necessarily know that you are manipulated right now. So the first thing you need to do is recognize manipulation. We covered 5 signs of manipulation and how to spot them in our last video, so if you haven't watched it, check that out and come back to this video.
Now, let's get right into what to do if you're in a relationship with a manipulator. First, trust your gut. This is your internal early warning system. Pay attention to the unexplainable feelings of unease, anxiety, or discomfort around certain interactions. These feelings are often your subconscious picking up on red flags. Manipulators will do anything to take your time and energy away so you don't question the situations that they're putting you through. They will dismiss your doubts, concerns, and feelings. So make sure to notice it yourself and really listen to those inner voices when they rise up. It will help to take a step back when you have those gut feelings to try and look at the situation from a third person's perspective. If you have a friend you trust, maybe bring it up to them and ask their thoughts on the situation.
Number 2, know your rights. When you're dealing with a manipulative person, something important to remember is your rights and recognize when they're violated. Okay, so listen to this list and see if your rights are being respected in your relationship. Number 1, you have the right to be treated with respect. Number 2, you have the right to express your feelings, opinions, and wants. Number 3, you have the right to set your own priorities. Number 4, you have the right to say no without feeling guilty. Number 5, you have the right to take care of and protect yourself from being threatened physically, emotionally, and mentally. Number 6, you have the right to create your own happy and healthy life. Manipulators want to deprive you of your rights so they can take control and take advantage of you. But you have the power to declare that you are the one that's in charge of your own life. So remember these fundamental human rights that I just told you. They represent your boundaries, and this goes into another tip.
That's right. Number 3, set boundaries. Now, boundaries are super important and necessary for any healthy relationship. In a manipulative relationship, though, it's especially important to be able to protect yourself. Setting boundaries means letting them know what behavior you will tolerate and you will not tolerate. For example, a manipulator might use guilt to get you to do things. A healthy boundary could look like a response such as, I understand you're disappointed, but I won't be talked into doing something that I'm not comfortable with. It could also simply just be that you're not going to do what they told you to do. Be clear, firm, and consistent in your verbal and nonverbal response. I know, it's easier said than done. It is a classic move that they would try and twist and turn the situation so that you look like the bad guy. But really try to hold your ground.
To add to that, don't be afraid to say no, which is our tip number 4. This might feel difficult, especially if the manipulator uses tactics like emotional blackmail. You might feel like you have to somehow convince them or have good enough reasons for your no to be accepted by them. But here's the thing. No is a complete sentence, and you don't need to explain anything else. You deserve to have your needs and wants met, and you have the right to protect your feelings and safety. And if saying no to something was necessary for that to happen, then no is a no, period. It might be scary to do it at first, but keep practicing on it so you can gain the respect that you deserve.
Number 5, take a time out. When interacting with the manipulator, emotions can run high. Actually, they're trying to create that emotional environment on purpose. So it's hard for you to think rationally and make an independent decision to try and gain the control over you. On top of that, they often expect an answer from you right away. This maximizes the pressure and their control over you. When these moments happen, try and stop yourself from responding to the request right away. You can practice gaining control over the situation by simply saying, I'll think about it. You can picture just how powerful this phrase is when it's said to a salesperson, or even in a romantic relationship when it's coming from a crush. It's a magical phrase that shifts the control back to you. After saying "I'll think about it," you can leave the room or stop reading their text for a moment. This will let you calm down so you can collect your thoughts and respond thoughtfully and carefully, instead of reacting impulsively. Once you're in a space where you can make a decision without any pressure, just evaluate the pros and cons of the situation. Think about whether or not you want to negotiate or come up with a more reasonable plan, or if you're just better off by saying no. The point is, you can remove yourself from the situation where a decision is rushed just by saying "I'll think about it."
Number 6, avoid self-blame. The manipulator's goal is to look for and take advantage of your weakness. So it makes sense if you feel like you're not good enough or you even blame yourself for not satisfying manipulator's needs. In this situation, it's important to remember that you are not the problem. You're simply being manipulated to feel bad about yourself so that you're more likely to give up your power and rights. So let me ask you these questions. Are your partner's expectations and demands reasonable? And is the giving in your relationship one way or two way? And lastly, do you feel good about yourself in a relationship? Your answers to these will give you some clues whether you are really the problem or you're really not. So when in doubt and you feel like you are not good enough, come back to these questions.
Number 7, consider an exit plan. Sometimes complete separation from the manipulator is necessary for your well-being. If you live with the manipulator, start making plans to move on from the relationship and become independent. This can involve saving money, finding a new place to live, or exploring legal options if you're married, like divorce. Don't be afraid to ask for help to get to a better place mentally and physically. Remember, prioritizing your safety is a basic human right. By following these steps, you can break free from the manipulation. Don't forget that it's okay to prioritize your needs and happiness as long as you're not hurting other people.
If you're ready to build a healthy and fulfilling relationship and life, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tips. Also, let us know down in comments if you have any more tips for people who's dealing with this kind of situation. See you next time.